Welcome to this webinar on what's new in Huygens 2304. This version has been released last month and a patch is ready to be released this week. My name is Vincent Schonderwood and I'm one of the imaging specialists at SVI. In this new 2304 release, we have improved the regularization of images with only one or two slices, and for undersampled, oversampled images. The reading of metadata from HCF5 files of the Luxendo-Bruker light sheet microscopes have been updated. Furthermore, we've improved the support for HCF5 images that are spread over multiple files. Since the security updates of all the Python versions stopped, we have updated Python to 3.11.1. And moreover, in the new Huygens Core, you can now run tasks via the command line interface. Obviously, we've added more to Huygens 2304. I will present the most important highlights in the following slides. The interest for workload managers such as Slurm for running applications on computer clusters or nodes is rapidly growing. To enable Huygens processing on these nodes, we've expanded Huygens Core capabilities so that the workflow processor jobs can be executed via the command line interface. For example, commands such as image open and result dir can overrule fixed template locations. More on this can be found in the Huygens Core manual at svi.nl/manuals. So now just an example. Suppose we have the image faba.ics, a pre-made template from the workflow processor with all the included tasks that we like to execute and a destination. With this information, we can execute any workflow processor task via the command line interface by just typing the command as shown here in this terminal window. The new Huygens version offers now also the possibility to rename images. This has been a major effort to create this option. There are several options to perform this task. One is to right-click on the selected thumbnail in the main window and click on Rename Image. A second possibility is to press the function key F2. And a third option is to work via the scripting window in Huygens Professional. By typing in the old name with the rename command and then the new name, you can rename images. The image name can always be retrieved from the Statistics tab window on the right of your main window, shown here with this red arrow. You can also use the fixed image handle to rename images. This handle is assigned to every image which is opened in Huygens and is used for all operations, so it's static. So also this image can be seen in the statistics window, as indicated in this slide by the red arrow. Many of you probably know that channel bleed-through or crosstalk can be corrected using the Huygens Crosstalk Corrector. In this new 2304 version, we've added support for multi-detector image data, like for example with the Array-scan. And there is the possibility to save the crosstalk values to a template for batch processing in the workflow processor. For batch deconvolution, there is now the possibility to select the algorithm automatic in the template. This basically means that the setting for deconvolution are determined fully automatically, which is similar to what happens in Decon Express and in the wizard. As mentioned, templates from the Crosstalk Corrector can be used as a task within the workflow processor. This task will be added at the correct position within the workflow before the deconvolution task, if that is applied. The long existing wish for many users to have the object analyzer included in the workflow processor for batch analysis after image restoration has now come true. So you can now add the object analysis task to the workflow. And then the object analyzer itself. What has changed? Well, improving and expanding the object analyzer is an ongoing effort, and proof of that is also in this new 2304 release. GPU support has been added for many other operations. You can now also select multiple objects by holding the control button and pressing the left mouse button. And besides the lasso tool to select an area and objects, you can now also use a rectangular and circular area option. And that is within the menu as shown here in the slide. 3D ISO service rendered objects within the object analyzer obtain a color depending on their label and on the color range that is defined. That has been the case for already a long time. With the new high contrast coloring option, nearby objects can have now more contrasting colors, making them more easy to distinguish. Then this example image shows telomere structures, also with this high contrast settings. And the point that I want to make here is the following. With the iParent coloring option that was already present in the previous Huygens 2210 version, they can be colored and grouped according to the same parent, in this case a nucleus, within the other segmented channel. Also in Huygens 2210, so the previous version, one could use a cluster-based analysis to assign objects to different populations. You can easily measure the volume of all the objects or of the objects that belong to one of the clusters. Also one can determine the volume of a nucleus in the other channel. Suppose now that you are interested in determining the volume that the cluster of the objects encompasses, so that you only measure the volume that the objects enclose. For this we will release in the next 2304 update a beta version of the Convex Hull approach. What is now Convex Hull? Basically you span a rubber band around the objects. We can do this for cluster analysis, but also if the sample or object is not homogeneously stained. And with this rubber band structure that with which you enclose the objects, it's possible to measure the volume that's contained within these objects, so in between also. Furthermore, you can determine the surface of this convex hull and the length of this convex hull. And it's possible to measure the surface distance of a convex hull to a reference object. That can be another convex hull. And it's likely that more options will follow. So with this soon to be released edition of the Convex Hull, I'd like to thank you for your time. If you have any further questions or would like to try these new features, simply download Huygens from our website svi.nl download, and if you're not having a valid 2304 license, you can request one via email. So email us at info@svi.nl or via our website svi.nl license request. Again, we thank you all for watching. Bye bye.